Hey! In today's video, we're going to be talking about how we have figured out how to have the perfect mess-free brooder setup for your chicks and ducks. And I know that sounds like a complete contradiction because how can you possibly have a completely mess-free brooder setup? But I'm telling you, we have been doing this for about 6 years now and we've got it down. We've figured it out.
Got it completely.
Not completely mess-free.
Saying it here. Completely figured out.
Pretty much. It's so much easier. This year was the best year that we have ever had. In fact, we did it 3 times this year. So we have really perfected, practiced, nailed it down. Again, so we have some chicks here, but we've also used the same practice for our ducklings last year. So you can use these girls down there are looking for their sisters. That's why they're chirping like that. Okay. I said, what about us?
You want to go ahead and put them home?
Yep. So we got here Stella and Chica.
All right, go home. Bye. Be free, Chica.
In case you're wondering, Stella here is a frost leg bar. So that's why she's got a little mohawk going on at the top there. She's going to be a pretty cool looking girl when she gets a little bit bigger. And then Chica over there was a blue Easter egger. And then we've got these two down here are silked white Easter eggers. So that's what we've got. We've got 4 in here right now. So as we said, we have really and truly perfected the system, and we're not just saying that.
The only reason the system is not perfected, we're gonna let you know towards the end of the video, and I don't know, I'm not even sure if Jackie knows the reason why it's not perfected.
I'm curious now.
But I'm gonna let you know at the end of the video the only reason why it's not perfect.
What is it?
Well, I'll let you know.
I'm gonna have to watch and find out, I guess. I don't know. All right, so let's talk feeders. First of all, when you're brooding chicks and ducks, they just don't want to cooperate all the time. They scratch at their food, they spill it everywhere. You want to talk about waterers? They knock it down, they put all their bedding into it. It's just a constant mess, a constant struggle, but it doesn't have to be. Like, I'm actually excited about it because it doesn't have to be a mess. It doesn't have to be smelly, it doesn't have to be messy.
The smell. Oh my goodness. Unless you're like you have a brooder system that's like completely far away, or I mean, even if you just don't like to walk in and like have to deal with like the constant overwhelming smell in your face all the time, this is the best way to do it. It
is. So let's talk feeders.
Feeders, all right.
We finally settled on this guy here. And this is well loved. As you can see, it's been used for a few years now. It's well loved and it's held up. So this particular feeder is from Coop. A lot of our products you'll find are from Coop. Had a lot of good luck with them. And it's got 2 sides. So we just turned it around today. It's got this bigger port for when your chicks get older. And then on the other side, it's got a smaller port if you've got bantams or quail or just really young, like couple-week-old chicks. And they can't scratch at it, they can't pull it out, they can't knock it on the ground. It just stays clean, there's no waste, and it's been great. As far as food goes, we've started using a mash instead of crumble, because even the crumble was just a bit too hard for really young chicks to eat. So we started feeding them mash, and that's worked a lot better.
So the mash, as far as like with the chicks that aren't doing so well from the hatchery, I think the mash, along with all your electrolyte water and stuff like that, I think that will like save some, especially some of those silky chicks. Yep. I think it'll save them right off.
You know, silkies are hard to keep alive. You know it's true. We moved their brooder a couple feet over just to film this video, so I think they're a little bit like, hey, we're in a different spot now. That was a little scary. So that's the feeder and the feed. For waterers, again, you know, it can be a mess. It's a struggle. So for waterers, again, we are using Coop, and we use this one here. This one is just a small one. Sometimes we have 2 going at a time. Right now, like I said, we only have 4 in here, so there's not too much competition.
Yeah, but when there's competition, you definitely want to have more than one water.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
So for the first few days that they get here, we do use Save a Chick, electrolytes, and probiotics. That's just, it helps them a lot. When you do that, you do also offer fresh water at the same time. So you'd offer the electrolyte water and the fresh water. And that's pretty important because you want them to have that choice. Coop sells a product where it has So I've got a handful of food here that has this kind of nipple water where they can peck at it and the water just comes out. I mean, I push on it really hard to demonstrate, but it doesn't just leak out of there like that. Like they peck at it and just a tiny drip comes out. There is no leaking. There is no wet bedding. They don't knock it down.
Well, first off, the bedding.
The bedding.
The bedding.
And that is really how we have perfected the no-smell system.
The no-smell. Even if their water gets knocked over, is it a huge mess?
No. Because this right here is pelletized horse bedding. It's pine. Yeah. It's like pine pellets. And they use it in horse stalls. This stuff, first of all, it is so cheap. You get a huge bag for like $5.50 from Tractor Supply, and it lasts forever. So we've had these guys in here for 3 weeks now.
Yeah.
We haven't changed this bedding. It looks brand new. It doesn't smell. It's insane. And it's so cost effective. It's just...
Oh yeah, because I mean like you're constantly changing the little wood shavings that you put in there. Because
it would smell.
Yeah, it would smell.
It would smell awful.
Yeah.
Just after a few days.
And here, like, the wetness of the droppings, whatever, it gets absorbed right into the pellet. Mm-hmm. So like you can't even see the mess.
No, you can't. That's what I'm saying. Like you can look in here right now and you can, like if you look real hard, you might be able to see some stuff, but I mean.
It's not really there.
It's really, there's nothing to clean. It's brilliant. And again, it's cost effective.
How many chicks have we had going at one time in one brooder?
Earlier this year, we had 13 going in, maybe we should back up. The pen that we use, this is like the key. Another key. We have so many keys. This is another key.
What is from?
The pen. This is called the Zampa, and we just got it off Amazon. This right here is a size small. They have other sizes. They have medium, large, and extra large, and they get exponentially bigger, and they also get taller. So not only do they get, more wide, but they get taller as well. Having this pen has been a game changer. They have plenty of room. You can fold it up when you're not using it. It's waterproof, so even if they do have that accident where you spill water or anything happens, it's such an easy cleanup. When we're done with the season, we take it outside, we hose it down. I mean, this has been here for years. We've used this exact one for years now. But again, getting back to your question, we did have 13 chicks in here just a couple weeks ago. Not in this pen, we had a large size Zampa pen. The same thing, just a lot bigger and significantly taller.
Yeah, they have much more room to run around inside the large one. So if you're brooding 13 chicks or somewhere around
the
that
large
number,
size it kept them
very comfortable.
Yeah, up until they were ready to go out. Even at 6 weeks when we put them out, they still had plenty of room.
Some of the bantam chicks, they could have stayed in, but I mean...
Yeah, we had a mixed flock. Heaters, of course. So this particular one is the Brinzia, and it's the Eco Glow. It's very nice. We've had this for a couple years, and it has not failed.
So between the Rent-A-Coop one, or is the other one Rent-A-Coop?
We have two. So because we do sometimes large brews at a time, or sometimes even we have multiple batches going at once. Like sometimes we'll get a couple chicks and then a few weeks later have another order come in, and we don't want to mix them up because their sizes are too different by that point. So sometimes we have to have two different brooders going on, so we have multiple of the same product sometimes. Mm-hmm. So the other heater that we have is Rent-A-Coop, and it's the same thing. It's a heat plate. We do not recommend heat lamps.
No, heat lamps are a mistake.
They're not safe. They make the whole room hot, and I just can't handle that.
Yeah.
So we didn't know. Like I said, we first started doing this about 6 years ago.
And you have to deal with the red light.
And everything is red. They can't escape the heat as well. And the heat plates like these are better for their feather development because they can feather in more evenly, as opposed to when they have the heat lamp, it's just on them all the time, and it affects the way that their feathers come in. And so they're actually more tolerant of the transition outside when they have the heat plate. They can choose to go in and out whenever they want to.
As far as the two heaters, which one would you recommend? Because I personally am not a fan of the Rent-A-Coop.
The Rent-A-Coop one is a little bit harder to adjust because it's got kind of a push-in button and then the legs click.
Yeah, it's faster, but I think that it kind of can fail sometimes too. The little pushing it in and trying to
Maybe if like bedding got stuck in the grooves or something. Yeah.
This one's
it twists. Yeah. Like you twist on the legs. I don't know if you can.
Might take a little bit longer, but it's more reliable. And how often are you actually moving the heater up and down?
Not often at all.
I mean, as they grow, you'll move it a little bit, but I mean, it's not like it's not going to take you like, oh, the difference was 30 seconds and then 10 seconds.
And this one also has a wire that you can feed through. I don't know if you can see. There's a hole right there. Yeah, they can see. There's a hole right there that you can feed that wire through, and that's really nice that you can just unplug it and then it has like that skinny plug.
Not have to rip a hole through your net or anything like that.
Yeah. Well, sometimes you can go through the door. Like these have zipper doors on them, but then pellets can get out if there's like a little hole.
Yeah, and there's 2 zipper doors on there.
Like you can see, one of them is actually right here. And they know, they always come to the door to come hang out. So these just open up. You can do whatever you want. Let them come out, let them play. Easy for cleaning or whatever you want to do. So we have talked bedding, heat plates, feeders, waterers. And getting back to the waterer, Rent-A-Coop does have another product, well, Anywhere really by this point has a product similar to this, but they have a, instead of this kind of a spout, they have like a cup that, we don't use it, but they have like a cup that if it gets empty, it like weighs less and then it knows to fill more water, so then it fills up. So it kind of goes based off weight, and that's how it determines whether to put more water in the cup or not. We haven't had good luck with those. They always seem to leak, or I'm not sure if it's like spill. They knock. I think that they knock into it. They knock into the like that little cup bowl. Yeah. Spout.
And like it seemed like the bedding underneath would always get wet right underneath it, and like it affects the way that the cup would be able to move down or not, and that's how the cup fills up back up with water.
Another thing about this bedding is when it does get wet, it just crumbles. Like you can kind of see here, it doesn't like do anything crazy. Like it just gets into like kind of sawdusty and crumbles down into like a more sandy material, which then they get to take little dust baths in, and they actually love doing that. So it absorbs the moisture, it just kind of crumbles and turns into a sawdust kind of fine material, and then they get to roll around and take dust baths in it. So it's a win-win for them, I suppose. Yeah. And then we always have
have you ever had any problems with them eating the pellets or anything like that? I feel like they're more curious about the pellets, and they'll peck at it and they'll break it a little bit.
They'll peck at it, and they'll scratch
I don't feel like we've ever had an issue with, oh, they ate a pellet and now they're...
No, definitely not. Yeah. I mean, it's the same with any bedding that you put in there. They're going to be curious. They're going to peck around at it. Yeah. So it's not different
than any other bedding. Really.
Yeah. So let's talk about products that have failed. So we've talked about the water with the cup. That's failed. Obviously, you know the water was just like the basic like bottle on top and has like the circular opening and the ring kind of on the bottom.
That's gonna get dirty so fast.
They knock it down. They kick the litter in it. It's just, it's a disaster. Don't do it. And then, you know, the open feeder, right? That kind of like long rectangular one with just like the oval holes in it. They scratch at it, they peck at it with their face. Yeah. It's all over, you're wasting food.
I mean, really, it's not about like the waste so much for me. It's the, oh, I have to keep on putting food back into the feeder.
Yeah, because, I mean, they'll find it on the floor and they'll peck around at it, but still, it's just, why? Use this.
I'd rather know that the food's there. Yeah. And it's not.
Yeah, and they have no problem getting their heads in there and doing all that.
You were talking about the jungle gym?
Yeah, we always have a perch.
Roosting bars?
A roosting bar is a little perch in there. I like this because they have little holes they can kind of go in and out. And especially if you're brooding multiple chicks at once, or you have, you know, a good amount in there and there's a pecking order, the smaller chicks, the ones that are getting pecked on, can always go and hide under here and just kind of stay out of the way. It gives them somewhere to hang out. They don't love to be on the floor all the time, especially once they start getting a few weeks old. They'll start kind of jumping up or sitting on top of the heat plate. So this just gives them an opportunity to do the natural bird thing of being up high.
So going along with the bedding, so the issue with the bedding is smell and dust. once they start like trying to like flap their wings or even like scratch around a whole bunch when their feathers are like off in there.
When the fluff turns to feathers.
Yeah, so they'll start kicking that all up into the air and stuff. But as far as like with this bedding, there is none of that like dust, fine particles flying out everywhere. So we're able to keep it contained mostly. When they start to get like really big, yes, they are going to be able to like flap it out a little bit, but like for right now.
But when you have the large size, the walls are taller, so even that solves
that solves that a lot.
Yeah.
Because at the beginning, we had
them in the bathroom.
There was dust everywhere.
We had no idea what we were doing that year one.
Never again.
No idea.
Never again.
We had like, it was awful, you guys. So we've learned.
Don't do it.
We've learned, and this is it. My best friend started brooding chicks this year too, after she's been wanting to for a while, but this year was the first year that she was able to do it. And so I told her, I was like, listen, this is the setup. Like, don't mess around with anything else. Like, this is it. This is the setup that you have to do. So, recommended to everyone I know.
Even had to send her some stuff, just in case.
Just in case there was any thought of trying a different thing. No. This is the way. But yeah, this has been so easy compared to what it was. Getting
into the last part of why this is not a perfect system.
Oh, here we go. Is it because of chicken math? Uh-oh, I'm about to be called out.
So this...
Oh, we should have had this sign in the background the whole time.
I'll go ahead and hold that. There you go. I only want 3 chickens. When your wife tells you that, just know that it's gonna do this. It's gonna be 3 at first, and then it'll be 4, 6, 10, 15, and then don't judge her because she loves her chickens.
So much.
And ducks.
And ducks, yeah.
Any poultry she loves.
Can't help it. You love them too.
Yes.
You had to be convinced at first, I think.
I had to be convinced, but now I'm very protective of them.
Yeah, we love them.
Don't mess with Chica.
Yeah, so chicken math is a thing, and if you perfect your brooder system, just be careful. Be careful out there, you guys.
That may fall down.
Yeah, it's going to.
So back to the reason why this is not the perfect system.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm excited.
Okay.
What is it?
So, like Jackie said, the tall, large one. You said there's multiple sizes, right?
Mm-hmm. This is the small.
Small?
And what we used before was the large.
The large. And you said there's a medium in between that?
There's a medium.
Okay.
The large was huge, you guys.
Okay, large was huge. Make sure you have the space.
Like this whole area.
Yeah, like where we're sitting at.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. A little bit. So make sure you have the space before you get a large. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's definitely the way to go.
Just real quick, this does have a roof. I choose not to use it because I feel like it's like separate.
Ding, ding, ding. Ding, ding, ding. There you go. It's because she doesn't want to put the roof on that any of the dust gets out.
That's true. It would be 100% contained if you use the roof.
So eventually, especially when they start trying to jump up onto here.
Which they do.
They do. So the roof
prevents that.
But
then they can't just be like, oh, hey, little chicky.
Okay. Hey, little cheeks. They got 2 doors.
I know. And you can
2 doors on this thing.
I know.
You can come over there and say hi to your chickies whenever you want. You can let them come out and everything. You don't need to let them be jumping up on the top yet. Okay?
Don't let him tell you.
Maybe like, you graduated. We're going to open the top so you can like jump and be free a little bit. But like...
Playtime. Chicky playtime.
Until that day comes. Zip it up the top. Zip up the top, okay?
It's not, listen.
So with the tall brooder though, the large one, like...
We never had to zip it. They never jumped. Maybe one of them
made it right to the top, but like with the large one, the walls were too vertically tall, so they just stayed in there.
Yeah.
And they were happy with their little...
They had plenty of space and
bars
perches.
And stuff they had in there.
Mm-hmm.
So the large one's great for that. It doesn't feel so sad when it was, because like you know that they're trying to be a part of everybody. Yeah. Especially when you're close to them. But that's it. They're gonna tell you, somebody in the chicken situation is gonna tell you not to put the roof on, and you're gonna just say, oh, it came that way. I don't know what to tell you. Like, just if you're setting it up, especially if you're setting it up for your wife, just make sure you have the roof like on there already, so there's just like no question about it.
It doesn't make that much of a difference. Come on, it's not that bad.
No, but right now it's not that bad.
They're still young.
But when you have 10 chickens trying to jump up, and they're all laying the side down and stuff like that, which this thing will hold even if they all.
We have some really funny pictures of like 10 of them being up there, literally 10 of them being up there like last year.
Yeah, I think that's gonna wrap it up for this one. I think we might do.
We could do a part 2 of like how ducks differ just a little bit.
Yes,
different setup for them.
They do have other needs.
Yeah. So, but we do use obviously ducks. You don't need a perch.
Nope.
And there are some different things.
Yeah, we'll go over that in another video.
Yeah, but the products are the same. They need all the same basic stuff with just some additional care.
We're gonna do another video because I forgot some stuff about the ducks.
Brewer's yeast.
Brewer's yeast.
Painter tray.
All right. That'll be in the next one.
You're intrigued, aren't you? Stay tuned. All right. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with us, and I hope that you learned something because honestly, I'm not kidding. Like,
don't make the mistakes that we did.
It's not worth it. This is it. This works. This works. We have been doing this for years now, and this
as long
works.
As your wife or husband let you put this on, put the lid on the top, the ceiling.
Spouse, best friend, whatever.
Whatever.
Kids.
Parents.
Don't.
Maybe you don't want your kids like reaching in there, your 3-year-old reaching in there. That's scratching around.
Yeah, they're happy little chickies. But like I said, I hope you guys learned something. And if you're doing something that's even better than this that I don't know about, please tell me. Because how can we make this better? I don't think you can. I don't think you can make this better.
I know you could say like, oh, you want solid walls or something like that, but that's
airflow.
That's airflow, and I feel like that's...
They need airflow.
They need airflow. I think it's healthy for them. So if it's gonna be like, oh, but like have a container that has like...
Well, that's how we used to do it.
That's how we used to do it.
Plastic
that's not
tubs.
And we're saying that's not the way.
No. So some of these solutions are more economical than others, like the bedding. Like I said, it's like $5 for a huge bag.
Yeah, that could probably like potentially like depending on how many chicks you have, like could last you the whole thing.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah.
The feeders and the waters are only a one-time purchase. The heater's only a one-time purchase. What's gonna get you is the chicks. Chicken math. That is not a one-time purchase. He'll tell you all about it. And thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. Like I said, if you've done something better, I have to know. Please tell me. But let me know if this guy's helped you out at all. If you have any thoughts or questions or anything like that, and we'll be happy to answer them in the comments down below.
Yeah. And maybe we'll do another video. Another video about some of the sick chicks that we've had.
Sick chicks and how to save them.
Yeah. Give it your best effort.
We do. We try hard.
We try hard with all of them. And then, you know, you feel really good when no one...
You feel real good when you save like a baby chick. Because they're hard, you know. It's hard to keep them, especially silkies. You know, if you know, you know.
Poor chicken.
Estella. Got our little mohawk going on. And Chica. Alright guys, that's going to do it for today. So thank you so much for hanging out with us, all of us. We hope you learned something, had a good time, maybe had some laughs along the way. I don't know, probably laugh at myself when I watch it back, I'll tell you that much. But yeah, thank you. We'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Bye.